Hello everyone, welcome to Real Reds Talk. If you think Cristiano Ronaldo leaving was the only bombshell dropping today, think again. Fucking massive news coming out of Manchester United that the Glazers are ready to sell Manchester United. Absolutely mental. No idea what the fuck is going on. It's been a crazy past couple of hours. We've terminated Ronaldo's contract. We was live for that before. Now Sky Sports News have just woke up every single fucking United fan in the world with this news that they're reporting that the Glazers are ready to sell up, whether it's a partial sale or a full-blown sale. Today has been mental. I feel mental. My emotions are everywhere at the minute, as you can imagine. Sam is here alongside me to read through this madness. Your current thoughts on the situation, please, Sam, if you can.
One whole day as a Man United fan.
Crazy. Fucking mad. Honestly.
It's like our club looked at it and went, we've not done anything of significance for a bit, have we? Right, fuck it. Let's fire Ronaldo and then put out that we want to sell the club. In the same hour, it seems. In the same fucking hour. Like, Jesus Christ.
Crazy right now.
Like, for me and Nick, we're sort of behind the scenes. We make this thing tick. So I do all the graphics and the setup for Stick. Nick writes a lot of stuff. So we have just been, anytime we try to eat something or go for a shower, we've just been delayed, and it's just absolutely mental. I don't even know where to start. I mean, really. I don't know where to start.
What?
Like, honest to God, I don't.
What does it mean right now? We're not entirely sure, but it's literally just breaking news. So we're still getting our heads together. There's still bits dripping through, which I'm going to touch on a little bit later. And you know, it seems concrete. It's coming from Sky. It's coming from very credible people, from what I've seen and from what I've looked into it. Would they ever do a story off the back of a Ronaldo story like this to gain interest or gauge into? I doubt it. Something like this. It seems pretty concrete. Question marks whether, you know, people are looking at this. So Jim Ratcliffe, obviously, guys like this, are they keeping a close eye on it? Will there be a kind of, you know, a wrath of phone calls ongoing? Definitely, I imagine. But let's take it back, not to let's take it back to the start with the Glazers. I don't want to give everyone a lesson, Sam, and I'm sure you don't, as to why we hate the Glazers and why we want them out. I think everybody knows that is clear to a lot of the United fans. And we've endured 17 years of absolute shite ownership. But with news coming out about Cristiano, with news coming out of the Glazers like this, it feels like the empire is crumbling, doesn't it? And Ronaldo once said, he said in that Piers Morgan interview, didn't it? Picasso said, when you have to destroy everything, I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the actual quote, but you have to destroy everything to rebuild. And this right now is down to the core, is where the rot sits. Correct?
Yeah. No, 100%. Nice little comment from Zoe's Media House. Ronaldo leaves and the Glazers look like they're finally out. Is it Christmas? Does a dance? Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much.
It is, honestly, it's for two things like this. I can't describe to you how big it is to have something like this. To have Ronaldo getting his contract terminated and the Glazers announcing the sale of that at the same time in one day is probably the biggest news stories that have ever happened in United's history. It's crazy. It's mental. And we have always stuck by. Look, the fucking things are here. The T-shirts are there. We've had a green and gold channel.
Our graphic is green and gold all the time.
Yeah. We have literally had a green and gold thing since we very started, and that's because the message is clear. We have wanted these parasites out of the fucking club forever. They have treated this club like a cash cow for years and years and years and years, not giving a shit how it's being run. Let absolute lunatics run the asylum, basically. And we've ended up at this point now where it's breaking point. And, you know, with this situation, Sam, you have to take account the current economical situation. I remember what Gary Neville was saying after the Brentford game, that there's no money in the bank. They're constantly taking money out. You know, watching United burn, essentially. And now it's got to a point where they're almost forced to sell because of financial issues. They're looking at it as a club now and they're thinking, this is the best time to sell because just look how everything surrounding it, like, they need to go. This is a must. And, you know, it's all down basically to, if you look at the past 10, 12 years, Fergie did it despite him. Obviously, they came in 2005, and then Fergie left in 2013. So for 8 years, 7, 8 years, he did it despite him because he's the greatest manager that's ever existed. As soon as David Gill and Alex Ferguson left, the shit show that we saw under Ed Woodward when we had Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Ragnick, the players that we brought in, the investment it's got to this breaking point now where it's like this has to happen. It has to happen, and I thought the Super League was the biggest opportunity
it should
to
have
do
been.
it.
It should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. It should have been. That should have been the opportunity. They bought quite a lot of the fans off, as we know, with buying Ronaldo, Sancho, and Varane, and then that kind of died out. Now this is coming from them. This is coming from their mouth, what they're saying. Very credible people, as I said, and you have to shout out the movements like the 1958. They deserve a massive, massive shout out because through rain or sunshine or whatever you want to say, they have been protesting this for years and years. The message has stayed clear. Even if we won a cup final, the message has stayed clear. That my voice is breaking.
I'll speak for a bit. Yeah, like, everything you've said is like totally spot on. We've been to many a protest, the green and gold. We're both at the Super League protest. We were both at the Liverpool game, the protest before that. So yeah, we've been fully behind the 1958 and whoever else was in support of these protests. And I think the Glazers have realised the time is up. They've realised they've milked the last cow in this farm and they can't get anything more out of it. Their last biggest cash cow, Ronaldo, they've just fired and let go out the door. He was the biggest player. And I think they've realised, look, if we're in a rebuild, which we are, we're not going to be competing for titles of Champions League for a couple of seasons. And it's like, where were they getting money from? They had to take some money out, I believe, to overspend in the summer because obviously they're not going to dig into their own pockets, are they? So they had to take some money out in order to do that. Obviously, it's costing them money. So I think, Gary Neville has said it multiple times. You have to go. Like, it's just time. Like, the fans have had enough. The Premier League's had enough. The players had enough. Adam's just put in the chat. But I don't know if this is breaking or this has already been out. But Glazer family have instructed banks to handle the sale of MUC. They're expected to make this decision public in a statement on Tuesday. So
holy shit! It's Tuesday.
That's maybe next week.
Oh right, okay.
That's from the Athletic, so that is
that's another credible.
Aaron is saying, was Ronaldo the interview the straw that broke the camel's back? So is Media House. I just wondered, did Ronaldo interview where he talks about structural clubs seriously damage the stock of the Glazers and their sponsors? Is this the reason of the sale? Again, very possible. Adam, I reckon the value has gone down after the interview. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me like at all. The reach that Ronaldo has. It's absolutely mental. It's groundbreaking and monumental. This news that's come out. I have been anti-Glazer since the day they walked into our company, our club. I've got CM Punk promo in my head. Since they walked into our club. Everybody's saying, "Oh, you only started protesting when you weren't winning anything." We were protesting when the Glazers took over this club, and we were fucking Premier League champions and Champions League winners. So it's got nothing to fucking do winning anything. These guys have sucked this club dry of everything. They have not invested in any part of this club. If you've been to Old Trafford, you can see the fucking state of it. It's rusty. It's leaking. It used to be the top of the line stadium and the envy of so many clubs. Tottenham have got a better stadium. Leicester have got a better stadium. Thousands of clubs have got better stadiums than we have. And that shouldn't be the case when we're the club we are. Our training facilities, Ronaldo pointed out in the interview, the pool's not been fixed since he left. He's been gone fucking how long? Jesus Christ. Yeah. The jacuzzi's not been fixed. The training facilities, when they were installed before the Glazers came in, were the top of the line. They were state of the art. And they've not been touched since. Leicester have invested £80 million. Leicester, who finished, where did they finish last year? 8th? 9th?
Yeah, something like that.
They invested £80 million in their training facilities. That shows you how you have to take this league. If Leicester are spending that amount of money, United should be spending way more than that in their training facilities. Our women's team was training out of fucking porta cabins. They didn't have a fucking locker room or a proper facility to change into. And the fucking coach left because of it. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on. Forget the players, forget all that, the coaching and stuff. The facilities and the way the club's been run, absolute fucking disgrace. And if this is true, and they are looking to sell, bring it the fuck on. I cannot wait.
Absolutely.
Cannot wait.
Fucking massive news, and we've got more and more developments coming on this as well. I'm just going to read out some of the reactions that I've been going through on social media. So Manchester United's share price is up 17% following the announcement of the potential sale by the Glazers, has already added almost 400 million to the club's market capitalisation. That's coming from Kieran Maguire, who's a financial expert. Sky News can exclusively reveal that the Glazer family is preparing to formally announce its intention to examine potential sources of outside investment that could include a full-blown auction of arguably the world's most famous club. Sources say on Tuesday that investment bankers were being instructed by Manchester United's owners to advise on the process, which is likely to include a full or partial sale or strategic partnership with third parties. A statement confirming their intentions could come imminently. One of them said the announcement of a review of financial options that could include a sale process would signal an end to years of speculation over whether the Glazers might be persuaded to offload a club which for the past decade has experienced an almost mitigated footballing decline. So there's more and more stuff coming out on this. Announcements will be made shortly. When they're going to do it, I have absolutely no idea. But this is Ronaldo news. Whichever way you want to look at it is good news, because it's better for both him and the club that they both part ways. We discussed that on the original show. If you want to go check that Ronaldo show out after this, be our guest. This is a really good show. But this news now is the greatest news we could. You can name any player in the world that you want. You can bring Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, any of these guys. This news with the Glazers, the fact that they are leaving, is fucking monumental, and it is huge. And this is a situation that you could look back in years and years' time and see as the real kind of, the spearhead for this kind of operation. The 22nd of November, mark it on your calendars. Ronaldo terminates his contract, and the Glazers announce that they want to sell. It doesn't really get any more crazier than that. Make sure.
Breaking. Ed Malon, who works for the Athletic, has just tweeted a statement on the sale of Man United is expected imminently. So any point now.
Anytime now, literally any time now. So we will try keep you up to date on that and keep looking at our phones for developments.
And Laurie Whitwell has said Glazer family instruct banks to handle sale of Manchester United, which is a major step in a sale of a club. So if this was just rumours, or if this was just sort of putting feelers out, that'd be one thing. But if they're instructing banks to handle the sale, this is what Liverpool did recently with is it FSG? I think not. Is it FSG? Yeah. They've spoken to banks in order to provide a sale and provide a sales deck, which means they are intent on selling. This is the same process that the Glazers have done. So this is not just some flight of fancy or see if they can get some. No. This is like serious thing.
And that's an important message to send. Anyone who's watching now, or if you're watching later on, it is concrete. Trust me, it's concrete. The shit that's going on right now is it's not no rumour. It's not no journalist who's like a tier 5 or a tier 6. It's legit news, and it's the greatest news you could have received. It's like Christmas has come early. Someone put it in the chat before. It really is like Christmas has come early. Put your comments in the comment section. Let me know your opinions. How you feeling right now, guys, as a community. Let's read out some of the comments if we can.
Where did I go up to? I read that one. Zoe's Media House. It's strange how Liverpool owners, now the Glazers, put their clubs up for sale. I wonder if they know something about the UK economy. This could be another factor, very possibly. Zoe's Media House is not fixed, though, is it? Question is, who takes over at Man United? We can't make the same mistakes. Yeah, I agree, Zoe. Like, we can't just let any owner walk into our club. We can't just let, say, a Saudi consortium who history of human rights abuses walk into the club and completely strip this club of its identity. And we can't let somebody else like a Glazers walk in and just take all the money for themselves and not invest in this club. We need somebody who's come in, is willing to spend money, is willing to put investment into the club in terms of the training, players, the facilities, all of that. Aaron Gregory, when the most followed football and club legend comes out and basically backs up what we've all said for years, it finally feels like we've been heard. Yep. Severe, what does that mean for January transfers? For fuck's sake, Severe. It's not the time, mate. Not the time.
Priorities. He's got his priorities.
Not the time, Severe, mate. Not the time.
Fucking
hell. Jesus Christ.
Just very quickly, so the guy who actually broke the story or reported it, Mark Kleiman, or Kleiman, however you pronounce it, he said this announcement could come within the next hour or two. So it's very close to the announcement. When it will, hopefully it drops whilst we're live, because I'd love to see what the announcement is. But go on.
Paddy Power tweeted, if the Glazers are actually selling, Ronaldo is actually going to buy Man United and start himself up front every week.
Oh, what a power play that'd be. Oh my god, imagine. And then just like anyone who's disrespected him, just fucking push off on the
fired.
Under 21s, reserves. Yeah. Wow, madness.
Fires the manager every single week. Oh, dear Lord.
Today as a United fan has been crazy as fuck. Honestly, we went live for the Ronaldo show, was discussing that and thought that was just mental in itself, breaking down his time here and stuff, and how it's all ended. Unfortunate, it is very unfortunate that he's going. We come to a conclusion with that, happy to move on. Then we did the breaking news show. We'd discussed the World Cup, Garnacho, all this kind of stuff for 45 minutes to an hour. Then as soon as we come live off that, towards the end of that show, I got a notification on my thing saying that basically the Glazers are ready to sell up. Apparently, I'm like, what is going on? What's going on? It's madness. I don't understand it. Like to have two. I know I'm repeating myself, but to have two news stories like that on the same day is just crazy, man. And I don't know where we go from here. I don't want to discuss potential buyers because I think it's too early for that. These things like this, they do take time. It's imminent in terms of they want to sell, but the actual full transaction of someone buying it and taking over is quite a long process. So that isn't going to be imminent. Potential suitors, obviously, Jim Ratcliffe was someone who was mentioned. As far as I'm aware, from what I've seen, they've said is they're concentrating on OGC Nice in the French league. That's the club they want to focus on. But surely, Sam, hearing news like this, he must be licking his lips and looking at it thinking this is a real opportunity to invest. I know you're going to have to invest a lot of money, but on the flip side of that, think about the benefits you get from it. And he's a United fan.
Yeah, Aaron's just put, not drank for well over a year, but feel like I need a rum and coke. Yeah, I think we all do, mate. I think we all do.
Yeah.
We all need a fucking drink. Wow. So Zoe's Media House has said, I'm praying our next owner is Jeff Bezos. I mean, controversial. I thought I was going
elsewhere then.
But I know he sort of sounded out, Jim Radcliffe, and sounded out, said, he's basically no longer interested, or like he's concentrating on other investments and stuff. And I think that was because he said in that interview, didn't he, with the Financial Times, the Glazers are not interested in selling. So if they're not interested in selling, then why would I try and buy a club that are interested in selling? But this is different now. This is a different situation. We've now Glazers are apparently making it intent that they're wanting to sell or at least get some sort of investment, which then puts somebody like a Jim Radcliffe back in the picture because he's a lifelong Man United fan. He tried to buy Chelsea where they weren't for sale. So he's clearly, and he owns a football club as it is already. So clearly he would be an interested party. Whether he'd do that by himself or with like a sort of consortium of different other people, but he would be like the major shareholder or something like that. He's definitely got the money to invest. He's obviously a billionaire, lifelong Man United fan, of course. I think he's from Fallowfield. Is he from Fallowfield or is he from? Where's he from?
I have no idea where he's from, to be honest. I thought he was from down south, to be honest, but you might be right. I don't know.
I think he's from Fallowfield, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that puts him back in the picture. Whether he ends up being the person who does it, don't know. I'm not sure. But it certainly makes things interesting. I don't hesitate to think that there'll be a lot of people interested and a lot of individuals, groups, consortiums, etc. interested in coming in and buying Manchester United. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating next couple of weeks, couple of days, hours. It seems like if the reports are true that they're going to make something a statement imminently. Sorry, just let me read this. And then Jim Radcliffe, personal wealth is not rich enough. He'll be another Glazer. Have to borrow to invest in the club. He's a billionaire, Zoe. He's like worth like
Yeah, it's 20, 30 billion. No, he's worth 20 billion.
Yeah, so he's got personal wealth, but again, I don't think he'd come in by himself. I think like there'd be a group of investment, much like FSG, where it's not just one guy; it's a different group of investors, all in things. So yeah, whether he'd be like the Glazers or not, I don't know. I'm not sure.
And look,
he's a lifelong Man United fan, so I think that taints him a little bit differently than the Glazers, who saw it as a business opportunity rather than I don't think they even like football or soccer, as they call it. I don't think
they don't have a fucking clue. They don't have a clue.
So yeah, I think it'd be a little bit different, but you never know. Get rid of the bot. Yeah, I've just got rid of him. There was a sex bot in the chat. I've just got rid of it. So.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they're here for the Glazers. Yeah. I think it's very important as well. Look, I don't want to get ahead of myself again. I don't want to start talking about who could buy or whatever, but it's very important that if they do have a full-blown sale of the club, we don't go and then get in another set of Glazers who are going to be here for another 10, 15 years, because rightfully so, fans are chomping at the bit to get anyone else in. I mean, you could bring the devil in himself and put him in charge, and United fans would probably prefer him to the Glazers. So we have to do our due diligence in terms of background checks, all this kind of stuff, looking at the guys who want to take over, looking right into the background, what they want to do with the club. And, you know, United are notoriously known for not doing well scouting. They certainly need to get the scouting right on this situation if they're going to look at potential buyers, because not even just me, I was going to say, us, we can't deal with another shit show like that. We just simply cannot do that. That is vitally important. We go get the right person to take over this club who has massive ambitions for it, who wants the best for it, and is willing to invest. That is the main 3 points for me that I would put on the criteria. So I'm super interested who it's going to be. I imagine it's going to be fucking a number of buyers. I imagine that, like you mentioned before, there was what was the consortium? Was it from Saudi Arabia? That was mentioned when there was all this news going about. It was Jim Ratcliffe. There was that. Then there was Jim Ratcliffe himself. There was Michael Knighton was bringing up a consortium, which was apparently was a load of bullshit, which I don't know if there's any truth to that or not.
There was something dodgy about him. Like there was something going on, and apparently they were not sort of great things. So Aaron's just dropped in the chat. Jim Ratcliffe carried out a feasibility study on the cost to buy Man United and redevelop Old Trafford and Carrington. This, however, was met by a flat denial by, and he was pure. That doesn't make sense. By his people, who said they were purely concentrating on Nice. That's from Mike Keegan.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of this stuff, but I don't think, to be honest, Jim Ratcliffe would come out and be like, "Yeah, I'm buying him. I'm just waiting for the Glazers to kind of buy the time."
Because he's not gonna give up a good price.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be like, exactly. I'm waiting price. Then they'll be like, all right, well, it's 8 billion. Then there you go, buy it.
Yeah, there's a lot of political stuff kind of going on behind the scenes with this, I imagine, and behind the scenes as well. There's going to be a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails being made. United is one of the biggest entities in football, if not the biggest. So there will be a lot of people looking at this, and hopefully they don't look at it like an investment opportunity. Look at it like, let's get the best club in the world back to where it should be, back to where it belongs. We've got rid of one of the biggest global superstars ever in order to move forward. If we can get rid of these owners as well, that's a lot of weight off our backs. I'm not putting Ronaldo and the Glazers in the same category. They're definitely not in the same category, but you can see my point. Like, you get rid of them too, we move forward as a club. It really is a Picasso kind of statement. Like, you have to destroy everything to rebuild. I'm just seeing if there's any more reactions to this. Henry Winter, the journalist, has tweeted, "If Carlsberg did days for Manchester United fans, ... Yeah. Certainly fitting.
We've got 13 people in the chat. Can we get a Glazers out in the chat? Let's get a chant going.
Yeah,
Glazers
get your symbols in as well.
Glazers
Green
out.
And gold.
Get
them in.
I want to see it full in the chat.
I really want this statement to break whilst we're live, because
it'd be nice
I'm super interested to see what they're gonna say about it. Like, it has to be financials why they're selling, innit? They must have looked at it or would have predicted over the past couple of years. You think about the summer, Sam, where we spent £220 million. I don't think United have ever done that since the Glazers have been in charge. And that was out of desperation. They watched the Brentford game. They watched the Brighton game. And that weren't in the plans. It was going for Rabiot and Arnautovic, as we know. And then they ended up spending £85 million on Antony, £70 million on Casemiro. Who else? Lissandro overpaid for him as well, 60, 65, even though he's worth it. So they've spent a lot of fucking money. Ronaldo's just left. They're gonna have to replace him.
Yep.
Like, how soon do you think? What's the realistic timeline for this sale? I know it's hard to predict, but what do you think?
Yeah, Aaron's saying Simon Jordan always says the potential buyers come out publicly and talk themselves up and never the serious buyers. So let's watch this space. Yeah, could be right. Could be right. So he's in there with the Glazers out chant. Thank you very much. Everybody else in the chat, Glazers out. Just spam the chat. Yeah. Glazers out. Glazers out. Yeah, I think obviously if we can't use the Chelsea sale as a predictor because it's special circumstances. The owner was forced to leave, and then they expedited the sale and basically like did it as quickly as possible because of the circumstances it was in with the Roman Abramovich and his connections to Putin and Russia, etc. So you can't really use that as like a gauge of like how quick you could buy it. Is it going to happen this season? Probably not. I think you're probably looking it's going to go on during this season. I think we're going to see the Glazers sort of size up bidders and stuff like that. There's going to be negotiations and bids going in and proposals, blah, 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 etc. So I think you're probably maybe in the summer. There's no World Cup in the summer. There's no Euros. There's no nothing. So maybe that's when it happens, summertime. I wouldn't expect it to happen before the end of the season. If it does, my God, there's going to be a party in Manchester somewhere, isn't there, if it happens before the end of the season. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes these things take quite a while, so it honestly depends on what the sort of how many potential buyers are interested, what their stake is, if they're selling a full part of the club, if they're selling partial. Like there's so many different factors we don't yet know. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I'm honestly not the guy to ask. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a stocks and bonds guy. I'm a digital marketer, former cameraman, so it's not my forte.
Not your wheelhouse.
That Kieran Maguire, by the way, nice little tidbit. He was my girlfriend's lecturer at uni. So.
Oh shit! No way. Madness.
Madness.
The world's a small place. What about the price of Manchester United? I don't want to go too deep into it, but if Chelsea is selling for what 4.5 billion, did they sell? How much do you think the Glazers will want for the club?
Well, they valued it at, was it 4 bill last time?
I can't remember.
I think there was a valuation a couple of years ago. I think they valued it at 4
billion. Be way above that now.
So yeah, we're probably looking at what, 6, 7, maybe 8. Like, you know what I mean? It could be upwards towards the 8 billion mark, I think. If Chelsea are going for 4.5, United are arguably the most commercial, well-recognised club on the planet. You could easily double that, couldn't you?
And do you think any of these kind of investors like your Jim Ratcliffe, your consortiums, do you think they would have been notified, or do you think they would have been expecting this, or it's just completely out of the blue?
There was probably rumblings and rumours, weren't there, kicking about in the financial industry. All these guys know each other and they hear things and stuff like that. That's why insider trading and I don't know if anybody's watched a documentary called what the fuck was it called? It's basically about the Wall Street crash in 2008 and how much of a scam it was and how a lot of people knew it was going to happen and bet on it happening and made a shit ton of money on people's mortgages and savings failing. But yeah, there's stuff like that going all over the place. Severe says, I can't celebrate until I know who the potential owners are. Simon Hall, Glazers out and tell me who's going to wear number 7. I mean, the fuck knows at this point, mate. Don't know. Really don't know.
No, it's something definitely to consider because I ain't even thought about that.
Simon, let us know who you put as number 7. Put that in the chat. Aaron, would you accept Saudi-backed owners? Me, personally, no. Definitely not. But Nick, I'll let you...
Given everything we've seen, I know it's not Saudi, I know we're in Qatar, but they share similar morals, and I wouldn't personally like it. But look, I'm not the full fan base. Ultimately, I think it's down to money and power. It always is. I don't think it'd be down to what the fans think. I think we'll try have a big say, of course, but someone comes in with with 8 billion and offers it to the Glazers, they can accept that, and then they could just come in. I think
they don't care who they sell it to, don't they? As long as they
they don't give a shit.
As long as they get their money.
Of course not. Highest bidder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jim Go on.
So he's put, no Saudi owners, please. Let's not become Newcastle, who would sell their mothers to win a trophy. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
He'd have Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. No, thank you. Fucking Elon Musk. Ortega family. I don't know who that is. Ortega family.
One thing I know your thoughts and principles on Elon Musk. One thing he would do at least is make sure everything's up to date, because you look at, you talked about the facilities in Carrington and stuff like that, and all shit hasn't been fixed. At least everything would be up to date. That's one positive.
He's destroying Twitter week by week. It's falling the fuck apart as he's like doing more and more stuff. So he could well do the same to Man United. So let's not go down that road.
Expect a tweet as well from someone along them lines saying something like, "Oh, I might buy United," or "Old Trafford inbound," or something like that. Yeah, you always get these guys tweeting it and that, and try not to bite on the bait, because it's happened before many times. And look, I think these next couple of days are going to be super interesting, man, because there's going to be more and more stuff coming out, especially when that statement comes out. Why has that statement not come out yet? I want to see what they've said, because this is a statement from the Glazers, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah,
that's coming out.
Must have just put some up. We're hearing a statement may be imminent regarding potential sale, full or partial. So yeah, we will comment it due in further course. So yeah, it's apparently due at any point. Yeah. Oh, Sky Sports News. Mark Kleiman provides update. Announcement could be made as soon as this evening. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, United is a roller coaster in it at the minute. Honestly, the fact that we're bigger news than the World Cup at the minute just shows how fucking mental we are.
Oh, France have just beat Australia 4-1, and it's not even.
And I didn't even know. Even know. Last time I checked, it was 1-0, and then they equalised whilst me and Adam was live. So it shows how mental it is at the minute. United is just a huge club, huge stuff going on, and I don't know where to take it from here. In the comment section, talk to me. What thoughts, feelings?
So Zoe's Media House said the Ortega family owns Zara stores and were rumoured about a year ago to make a bid to buy Man United.
They Spanish based.
Yeah,
I think they might be Spanish based. I've heard of them before.
Simon Hall saying he'd pick Jadon Sancho as the new number 7. I mean, he only wears number 7, doesn't he? He's got 225 at the minute, because 2 + 5 is 7. So. I think that number 7 shirt needs to be left alone for a bit. I think somebody needs to play and earn it.
Needs to be the right guy in it.
Needs to play a few good seasons and then they earn it. I don't think we should just give it to somebody, because every time we've given it to somebody, it's weighed heavy and failed. Like, we haven't found anybody who's worthy of wearing it yet. So yeah, let somebody earn it, and then we'll come back to it.
Just to repeat a thing as well. So the sale of United could be far in excess of the club's stock market valuation. Since the latest news broke, the share price has risen by as much as 17%. So it's gone up just by announcing this. It's gone up 400 million, between 400 million and 500 million, which is crazy as fuck. Absolutely mental.
Mark Kleiman has just said 4 or 5 billion figure doesn't seem out of the question. He's just said on Sky Sports.
So that's how much they would want for it.
Well, he's just saying that's what he said. It wouldn't be out of the question. So yeah, it could be around that, or it could be far beyond that. But that seems to be like the minimum. 4 or 5 billion seems to be the minimum that it's going to be sold for.
And where does this leave future transfer markets as well? Because when we go into January, when we go into the summer, because there's that cloud of when they're going to go, do we buy players? They're not going to invest money, are they, if they're going to leave? Why would they throw 50 million at something which they're planning to leave? So then does the immediate future kind of be clouded because of this?
I think a lot of the time, aren't clubs put a transfer embargo if they're under sale, or there's potential sales going on or something like that? I'm pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, you're right. If we are to be up for sale, I think that pretty much puts the kibosh on any January income has done it, because like you said, why would they invest money? He's just put as well, Mark Kleiman, it may not be a coincidence that Liverpool and Manchester United were up for a sale at the same time. He feels the fallout of the European Super League may have played a part in the American owners wanting to sell English clubs. So
yeah, because there was always this talk that the Super League's going to return, and the Fiorentina Perez and the Juan Laporte, whatever his name is, the Barcelona president, was always going to reintroduce this idea, but kind of mold it in a different way. And as we know, Joel Glazer was the co-founder of the Super League, I believe. He had an important position.
He was like the co-president of something, wasn't he? It was him and Perez, wasn't it? The Real Madrid guy.
So that statement that he made about the Liverpool selling up the American owners, and because it is, I don't mind having just American owners themselves, but it depends like what the morals are behind it, because it just seems like a lot of them treat these clubs like cash cows. And when you have clubs like Liverpool and clubs like Manchester United who hold such importance in the Premier League, a lot of the decision making goes their way basically, and they hold a lot of power, which is why the Super League would have gone forward despite 14 teams not being in it or not being invited into it. It just shows how much power they hold, and obviously how much money they make the league. So I do think the next owner is gonna be really important. Who it's gonna be,
Aaron Gregory.
I'd love.
Waiting for Conor McGregor to drunk tweet about his interest in buying Man United. Yeah, it's already happened last time, mate. It's fucking...
Yeah, it's gonna happen again. There's gonna be loads of people on this, and I just want this. I really want this thing.
Must has put out something. Any prospective new owner or investor has to be committed to the culture, ethos, and best traditions of the club. They have to be willing to invest to restore Man United to former glories, and their investment must be real, new money spent on the playing side and the stadium. Any new ownership structure must embed supporters, include a degree of fan share ownership in their operating model. These are criteria supporters will judge any bid on. Of course, we remain open to dialogue with any potential investor. Yeah, fully behind all of that. Must agree with all of that.
It's like we've been locked up for 17 years. Someone's let the shackles off, and you don't know what to do. You just what happens? I feel like I'm in frantic land at the minute. My head's absolutely everywhere.
You know that GIF in the American Office where they're all running about and it's going, it's
happening! Yeah. And we can only go off announcements now. We've said our piece. We've read out the developments on it. What else do we do? I don't know. So we're here now, aren't we? So
Zoe's Media House, Conor McGregor, Tyson Fury consortium. Yeah, that's a fucking great idea.
I don't fucking either of them, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Just again, people kind of regurgitating the same stuff in regards to this. Time to see all those clubs Ronaldo said wanted him to line up and buy him. So that's from Ronaldo. United are not commenting on the news of potential sale of the Glazers. That's from Laurie Whitwell. Oh, I bet it comes out at a proper inconvenient time, this statement. I bet it's
is it going to be American time? They put it out, do you reckon?
I thought, well, they said next hour or two, so it's got to be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'd love a penny for Ten Hag's thoughts and Fergie's thoughts on this. I would love to speak to them right now. Just give him a phone call.
Ten Hag is just like, right, he's come to the club and it's in a fucking shambles after last season, and he's like, right, I get these players. All right, fucking De Jong, we're not got De Jong. For fuck's sake, we spent God knows how many weeks chasing him and he's not come. And the club have gone, oh, well, we'll buy you Casemiro, we'll buy you Anthony. There you go. And he's gone, all right, at least I've got someone. Right, let's get this. We start this. Loses the first two games and we look utterly fucking abysmal. And he's like, right, I've got so much work to do here. I'm going to have to change tactics. I can't play out from the back. I'm going to have to change the way to play this. Changes that, gets us playing well, gets us to a decent level. We're beating Liverpool, beating Arsenal, we're doing well. Doing improving style of play, etc. Ronaldo decides, I'm gonna leave at the Spurs game. Fucks off, refuses to come on, and he's just like, for fuck's sake, I've sorted the team, and now you're doing this shit. I'm gonna have to fucking suspend you and stuff. So he suspends him, and all that's focused on it. And he comes back, and Tyag's right. I'm gonna give him an olive branch. Right, I'm gonna put him in the Aston Villa. I'm gonna give him the captaincy. And then we can build from there. We can keep going. So he does that, and loads of bit of shit's coming off, and then he gets to the World Cup. There's a World Cup? I was just building the fucking team, and we were getting right, fine, fucking there you go. So all these players fuck off to the World Cup, and then Ronaldo comes out and decides, all right, I'm burning the entire club to the ground. Fuck it. Just throws him under the bus, throws the players under the bus, throws everything under the fucking bus, and he's just like, for fuck's sake, I'm just trying to do my job here. I'm literally just trying to do my job. And then took care of jobs. And he's just like, for fuck's sake. And then the Glazers come in, and he's just like, right, can we just get rid of him? And they eventually, right, we've got rid of him. All the news is going mental about that. And he's like, right, can fucking breathe down, concentrate and stuff like that. Literally an hour later, Mr. Eric Ten Hag, by the way, we're selling the club. And he's just like, the fucking like.
What you do?
What you do? He must be losing his fucking mind in his house or something like.
Because it's a good point you make. It's a good point you make, Sam. Because when the new owners come in, what if they don't rate him? What if they don't want him in charge? Obviously, there'd be massive backlash from the fans. But you saw it with Newcastle. Obviously, when they came in, Eddie Howe took over.
Happened at Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah, they got rid of Tuchel, Potter in. Like, there's a lot of variables to consider on this one. Super interesting. 100%.
I'm just checking if there's anything else like.
I know, I've been scrolling me fucking me finger. I mean, who in the world would have predicted Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Manchester United, and the Glazers announcing they're going to sell the club in one day? It's been mental. It's crazy. Life as a football fan is a roller coaster. It really is.
Life as a football fan, life as a United fan at the minute.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It always happens at like the most unexpected times as well. What's this from Must? Earlier story from today.
I think that's the thing I read out before. I think.
Yeah. Just double checking, making sure. I mean, yeah, we've got to wait for the statement to come out now. We have no idea when it's going to drop. We could go off live and then it drops as soon as we go off live.
People in the chat, if you got any questions, you got any comments, throw them in. There's 15 people in there, so yeah, throw any questions, comments. We'll react to them.
And if you'd like to as well, subscribe to the channel and like the video. You're more than welcome to do that.
Also, me and Nick are growing these really dodgy tashes, as you can see. We're not doing it because we like the look of it. We're doing it because we're raising money for a charity called Mind, which is a mental health charity here in the UK. I know a lot of people who watch are not necessarily from the UK, but I'm sure you've got mental health charities there doing a similar thing. The link is in the description if you want to make a donation. The QR code is also here. So if you're watching on a tablet or a laptop and you got your phone with you, get your camera out, scan that, take it straight to the donation page, make a donation, help raise money for a really good cause. So yeah, that's there. Follow the socials as well, all in the description. All the socials are in the description and they're in the bottom of the toolbar there. So yeah, chuck all that in.
Especially if you want breaking news stories as well, like on the Instagram, Sam is on that, like to the minute basically. So when this news broke about Ronaldo, he tries. You're close enough. Like, how quick can you be?
I was sat down with my tea, was eating, and then Nick goes, "United in itself." I'm like, "I'm fucking right, fine." And I'm typing away, and then he's just like, "Oh yeah, Ronaldo." He's just it's non-stop.
Pretty much since I've got in. Sorry, 2 seconds. Since I've got in from work. It's first show about Ronaldo, second show breaking news show, third show about the Glazers, and it's 9:15 now. And my stomach's just like, mate, come on, what are you doing? Like, please.
Mental. It's always Media House. Even when there's a World Cup on, the world football is about Man United. Yeah, pretty much, mate. That's pretty much what it is. Absolutely mental. If anybody's in the chat, like I said, questions, comments, please throw them my way. Happy to answer. We got
also as well. Sorry, go on.
Got 777 subscribers. Thank you very much, everybody subscribing. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you see any updates or anything on Twitter, anything like that, more than welcome to throw them in the comment section as well, so we can analyse them. We've pretty much gone through everyone that's come out at the minute. Like, honestly, I've anything that's come out remotely to this from different journalists and stuff. We've touched on, from The Athletic to Sky Sports News, and these are credible outlets, as we suggest. I know you mentioned that thing before with Simon. What's his name?
Jordan.
On my brains. Yeah, Simon Jordan, but he's a twat. I couldn't give a fuck what he says.
I hate him as well.
Could not give a fuck what he says. The TalkSport always go against the grain anyway to get a bit of a story. That's their whole blueprint. The whole mold is based on that. So I couldn't give a fuck what they say. I'm believing.
Giddy VJ, what do you think is the first thing for new buy to change at Man United? Facilities or buying new players? What do you think, Nick?
Very good comment. I mean, I would argue we need more investment in the facilities, the training ground and the stadium before the team. I know we need investment in the team, but we just spent 220 million in the summer. We spent fuck all. As much as they might argue it, when Ronaldo came out and did that interview with Piers Morgan, he said nothing's changed in there, etc. Blah, 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 about the jacuzzi, the swimming pool, all this kind of stuff, the nutrition. And United replied into that and said we spent 200 grand, apparently, on the facilities, but Ronaldo's gone in and everything's still the exact same from when he was here, when he was a boy. So conflicting stories there, but look, we've been in Old Trafford many a times as fans. We know what's going on with the stadium. We know the issues there. They put a lick of paint on it to try, it's like polishing. I'm not calling Old Trafford a turd, but it's the polishing over rust basically. And it needs the full infrastructure needs taking a hard look at. And this is why I'm saying any potential investor who does come in is going to have to invest a lot of money. They're going to have to invest a lot of money. Simple as that. And it's going to be a long-term game if you do want your investment back, because the stadium's going to cost a lot of money, training ground's going to cost a lot of money, players' investment for long-term is going to cost a lot of money. So it's money out before it's money in. That's where they're going to look at it. But like I said, Manchester United, owning United, is one of the biggest entities on the planet. Like, commercially, we are still absolutely massive. For marketing, for sponsorships, we're one of the biggest clubs on the planet. So, yeah, I would say we need to invest in everything behind the scenes, to be honest. And our scouting. So our scouting network, we need to take a really good look at, get the best in the business, and our whole network upstairs, from Murta to Arnold, that needs sorting.
Fuck them off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right on the return on investment. I think we're one of the few clubs that could get a return on your investment because of the size of us, because of our reach, because of our fan base, like I said, marketability, the name, everything, the brand, like, it's massive. So you could probably get a return on your investment. But obviously, you need to invest that in the squad. Zoe's Media House, is Gakpo number one January target, or are there any others considered? Rumours of Depay on a free.
Yeah, well, we was discussing this on. We've done 3 shows today. I can't remember which one it was on. I think it was the first one. We were speaking about Ronaldo, about potential replacements and stuff. I said I feel like it would be a stopgap, like another Regalo, Falcao. I know Falcao was signed as like a permanent, but if you look at the time, it wasn't great. I think it's going to be something like that, like a Cavani. They're bringing an age like a Choupo-Moting, a Nautovic, Memphis Depay, potentially. Someone like that, which I wouldn't mind just until the summer if we're going to get a striker in. Like, I don't mind. I think if you're going to get one, it was a bit of a stopgap and wants to come to United, Memphis Depay would be all right. You got the Dutch connection with Ten Hag. Malacia's, of course, in the team. De Jong will be signed by summer, as Sam knows. So the connections are there, and I think that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But Gakpo, I would definitely go and get. But as we just said, me and Sam mentioned then, if the owners are selling up, they're not going to spend any money. They won't spend any money at all. Definitely not. So, yeah, it's I don't think we see investment in January, especially if the Glazers are going to announce that they sell. My personal opinion.
My girlfriend, Debbie's in the chat. Shout out, babe. Do you think they'll make any players leave at the end of the season with the uncertainty of new owners? It's an interesting question. I think when you look at the players such as like Casemiro, Eriksen, Anthony, Lissandro, new guys who came, Malacia, I think they get new guys who came in. I think you'd be all right. I don't see any of them leaving because obviously it's a long-term investment, contracts and stuff like that. I think players like Rashford, McTominay, I think they'll probably stay. I don't see them leaving anytime soon. Players I could see potentially on the way out, people like David De Gea, that could be his time to go because he's been rumours about him for several years, about him leaving. I'd get rid of Harry Maguire in a heartbeat, but God knows what happens there. And then you've got players like Jadon Sancho he's on the outs at the minute. He's not playing well. He's not been great. Obviously, he's got some personal troubles going on at the minute, I believe. He's taking a break from social media, so that could have something to do with it. But yeah, no player immediately comes to mind to think that they would go at the end of the season just because there might be potentially new owners, but I don't know about you, Nick.
Yeah, I don't know. The contract situation is very strange in it, especially if they've got potential talks. I know Garnacho's the latest one with a 50k contract, which we did discuss on the previous show. So if you want to go watch the breaking news show after this, again, more than welcome to. But with the players as well, I wonder how they react to this kind of news, because obviously they're in Qatar right now. Well, quite a few of them in Qatar, getting ready for games or already had the games. And they're sat there, they're seeing this news break. It'd be interesting to see what they think whilst sat there, what they're discussing, whether they're like, it's about fucking time. Do you know what I mean? Because a couple of players they've been vocal, obviously Ronaldo being the most vocal, but we've had set players sort of hint towards it about the ownership and the structure. And I think something. They don't need to come out and say something, but I'd love to hear from something from someone at the club, basically. Like just no, they won't. Of course they won't. Of course they won't. But that's what I mean. I think it's super interesting to see what they think. But
apparently,
yeah, I don't know.
Someone's letting fireworks off outside Old Trafford.
Are they green and gold ones? Because
so.
that is absolutely
so.
amazing. I was actually considering going to Old Trafford to do like a little news bit, but it's very late. I've got work tomorrow, so.
Sky News have just posted an article. I think they must have wrote a while back. Titled "Man United: How Scavenger Glazers bought club and left Old Trafford rusting and in a mess." Yeah. Pretty much sums it up, really, doesn't it? Zoe's Media House, with Ronaldo leaving, the club needs to invest in a striker. I think there are funds available for a player, whether that's Gakpo or someone else. There is money there, Zoe. But like you said, if they're willing to sell the club, why would they invest? Why would they put money in the team? It's not sense. Aaron Gregory, what if the new owners come in and want to bring in their own appointed managers? They did at Chelsea. Yeah, we did touch on that, Aaron. New owners go for a more glamorous name like Zidane. Could well happen, mate. Could well happen. But I think the fans would be against that. I think the fans would back Ten Hag because of what he's done and the sort of structure he's started to put in place at the club. So I think if you're brand new owners, you want to keep the fans on side. So I don't want to think you want to get rid of a manager like that. I think he will get an opportunity. And I think if they know anything about football, they'll know what a talent they've got in their hands in Ten Hag. So they shouldn't do that. Mohamed Barrow, is really happening, guys, please. I think so, mate. I think it's happening. I hope so. I hope it goes through. We're all hoping it happens. Zoe, if new owners do what Chelsea did and place Eric Ten Hag, that will prove nothing has changed. Yeah, pretty much. If they come in and get rid of Ten Hag, then we've just got the same old shite and we're back in another horrible situation. But you've just got to kind of hope for the best, really, haven't you?
There's a bit here from Sky News. It says the Glazers have acknowledged the need for new infrastructure investment to transform the stadium into a genuinely world-class venue, while substantial funds are also required to enable the men's team to compete once more at the top of the European games. So they've looked at it like a mountain to climb and thinking, you know what?
We
could just sell this. Just sell this.
You're right.
It said so we could sell this for 6 billion and just take our losses, losses, with a big bag of money and probably go invest it in another club and go destroy them for another 15 years. I imagine that's what they're gonna do.
As long as it's in America, that's fine. You can fuck off to America. I think, it's got to be a case of if they're thinking, oh, we need investment in the stadium. It's took them fucking how long to realise the stadium needs fucking investment? Jesus Christ, it's not like we've been barring on about it for the last 10 years. Jesus Christ. Zoe's Media House, Ten Hag's the only bright spark. The Glazers did, so if any owner gets rid, it shows they don't know football. Agreed, mate. Severe, did you hear about TeamViewer continuing ending their sponsorship? Yeah, I saw that early in the week. The investors at TeamViewer I've realised what a fucking shocking deal, because apparently they've overpaid on the sponsorship and it's a long contract and they want to try and pull out of it because they've realised how shit of a deal it is. So yeah, that's another bad sign for the Glazers if sponsors are wanting to pull the plug already, fucking 2 years into the deal. So
for anyone who gives a shit about TalkSport, which we don't, but we're here to report, sources say the possibility of Manchester United being sold is very real. That's coming from Alex Crook. But Alex Crook was also the guy who said I've heard De Jong was going to sign next week during the summer transfer window, and look what happened there. So don't take everything they say for thinking. But yeah, we have to report it. Everyone waiting on this now, really, aren't they, Sam? This big statement that's going to come out.
When do we give it to? Like, how long do we stay before we...
I don't know. How long have we been on now? 45? Have we?
Let's have a look.
Because it's not that imminent, is it, if we've been on for nearly an hour?
50 minutes.
Yeah. So, give it another 5, 10, maybe. If not, then we'll go live with the lads tomorrow about it, because... Look, we're unlike the United Stand and Paddock and these kind of guys, we do have full-time jobs and we do work. We do work very hard. So it gets to a certain point, like cut-off point. But like I said, we will be discussing it tomorrow regardless anyway with the lads on the show. So if it does come out when we go off live, then yeah, well, don't worry either way.
Mohamed Barrow, praying for them to sell, not investing because I don't want any relationship with the Glazers. Yeah, neither do we, mate.
Yeah.
We hope they sell it fully and they just fuck off out of our club. Aaron, Alex Cook is about reliable as a plumber's estimate. Yeah, pretty much. Agreed, mate.
Yeah, I like that. One question to you, Mohammed, if you're watching right now. Are you subscribed to our channel?
Yes.
Especially you yourself. Yeah.
And if you're not, why not? Please
why not?
subscribe.
Why not?
And follow our socials. If you've got these following socials, like please do follow us on there. We're happy to have you part of Real Reds Talk. We're always looking for new people to join and make this channel as big as possible.
Yeah. We're covering a lot. Sorry, go on.
Go on.
We're covering a lot of the World Cup at the minute because obviously United aren't on until the end of December. So there's a lot of watch-alongs. There's going to be a watch-along for the Denmark and France game on Saturday. There's going to be a watch-along for the Germany and Spain game on Sunday. We've got an Iran preview on Thursday. We're going to be talking even more about the Glazers tomorrow, so there'll be a show then. It's a show every single day. What more can you want? You've got 6, 7 lovely lads on the show. You've got me, Shreyas, Sam.
Well, there's 5 lovely lads and then there's Adam. So
I knew he was going to say that. So yeah, we've got Irish lads, Indian lads, Nigerian lad, it's very diverse, very well knitted group together. And yeah, lots of fun content. The World Cup content's been really fun at the minute. We're enjoying that. Something different. You know, when you talk about United every single day, it gets to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't mind doing some World Cup content. So yeah, World Cup's been a bit of a blast up until today, and when this shit kind of breaks, and you're like, right, what's going on?
It's been a shame, hasn't it? It's been a shame that the World Cup that there hasn't been players that I was really looking forward to seeing play.
Yeah,
Benzema,
do you know what?
Mane and stuff like.
Do you know what would have been interesting, Sam, if we didn't have a World Cup this winter?
Yeah.
And this news broke now when we have a game. Like, what day are we on today? It's Tuesday.
Yeah,
so imagine if we had like a Europa League game or a Cup game. And then Ten Hag's got to answer questions about this. Like,
fucking hell. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Because we said when the news about Ronaldo broke with the interview, imagine how many questions he's going to have in the press conference. Now, everything that's happened since that, there's going to be a journalist with about 30 pages of questions to ask him. Like, that first press conference back is going to be mad. Absolutely mad.
It's going to be... I was listening to the Athletic podcast today. Laurie Whitwell and David Ornstein went to the Portugal press conference, and normally you can just walk in. There was a queue to get in the door to the Portugal press conference. Yeah. People wanted to ask Ronaldo questions, and I can imagine that's what Old Trafford's going to be on Ten Hag's first press conference back. Yeah. Mohamed Barrow, I wasn't, but I just did. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you for subscribing.
Legend. You fucking legend. Have a lovely day.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you and the chat as well for people who are currently in there. What's the first question, Sam, you're going to ask Ten Hag? If you're a journalist now and you're going into the press conference, what's the first question you would want to ask him? Would it be the Glazers, Ronaldo, World Cup?
He's not going to give an answer about the Glazers, is he?
No, but what would you like to hear from him? Let's say you have a chat with him and you're in a room now. What's the first thing?
Yeah, if there's no cameras, I'm going to be like, has working with the Glazers been one of the most frustrating experiences in your life?
Yes.
When it comes
clear, yes.
When it comes from working with like Edwin van der Sar and Mark Overmars at Ajax, it seemed like he had a great team around him, and they could pick up talent for fuck all money and develop them into like fantastic players. Like, it must be like worlds apart. Aaron Gregory, it's been a day of miracles. Saudi beat Argentina, the Glazers are selling up. Yeah. It's always been the house. Can we all applaud for the Glazers finally out? Yes, we can. We can all applaud.
I can't because I've got my microphone in my hand, but I can clap with one hand and do it like that.
One hand, Sander, one hand clapping.
Yeah, one hand clap, one hand clap. There you go. My hands are big enough anyway, so yeah. There it is.
What are you asking him then? What are you asking him when he?
You know what? I always ask these questions. I never prepare for them when they get thrown back at me.
See?
Yeah, I know. I should be really. I would probably say.
Sorry. The official statement.
Oh, stop it.
No. Official statement. Manchester United announced process to explore strategic alternatives to enhance the club's growth. Man United, one of the most successful historic sports clubs in the world, announces today that its company's board of directors is commencing a process to explore strategic alternatives for the club. The process is designed to enhance the club's future growth and the ultimate goal of positioning the club to capitalise on opportunities both on the pitch and commercially. As part of this process, the board will consider all alternatives, including new investment into the club, a sale or other transactions involving the company. This will include an assessment of several initiatives to strengthen the club, including stadium, infrastructure redevelopment, expansion of the club's commercial operations on a global scale, each in context of enhancing the long-term success of the club's men's, women's and academy teams, bringing benefits to fans and stakeholders. Executive co-chairman and directors Avram and Joel Glazer, you fucking wankers, said the strength of Manchester United rests on the passion and loyalty of our global community of 1.1 billion fans and followers. As we seek to continue to build on the club's history of success, there's not been much under you guys, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The board has authorised a thorough evaluation of strategic alternatives. We evaluate all options to ensure that we are best served to our fans, that Man United maximises significant growth opportunities available to the club today and in the future. Throughout this process, we remain fully focused on serving the best interests of our fans, shareholders and various stakeholders. The Rain Group, which I believe is the same one that's handling Liverpool's investment. Oh no, it's the one that handled Chelsea's. That's it. Is acting as the company's exclusive financial advisor. Rothschild is acting as exclusive financial advisor to the Glazer family shareholders. There can no assurances that the review being undertaken will result in any transaction involving the company. Man United does not intend to make a further announcement regarding the review unless the board has approved a specific transaction or other course of action requiring a formal announcement. That is just dropped right now.
Wow. Coming from Manchester United, confirming the Glazers are considering selling the club is huge, absolutely huge. And Simon Jordan, suck that, mate. Suck that.
Yeah,
that's coming from the fucking club itself. So stop talking absolute was, you fucking pigeon. Yeah, but I don't know how to react to that because we've spoken so much about it. It's confirming what we was believing, and that is crazy, absolutely crazy. That it's it's actually real and it's official and it's true. And as United fans, this is the day everyone's been fucking dreaming for. It's not obviously happened yet. It's not done, but the wheels are in motion. That's the most important thing.
Mean, this is the closest we've ever been in our time with the Glazers owning the club. This is the closest we've ever had to actually being sold, because they've sent out a statement of intent, which they've never done before. So,
yeah. Sorry to the listeners. Just me sound for a second might be a bit.
Let me turn you down a bit because it gets a bit.
Laptop dying. It's been here for a while, so having to charge, which means no more microphone. As part of the process.
Everybody in the chat, tell me, how are we feeling? Let us know how we're feeling about that.
Something interesting here, Sam, development. This is from Sky Cafe. The expectation, if United is sold, will be to US investors. That's what Sky Cafe said. I don't know how people feel about that, but United statement, so many things right now. United confirmed Glazers considering, announces that the company's board of directors is commencing a process to explore strategic alternatives. Avram and Joel Glazer, the board has authorised a thorough evaluation of strategic alternatives. We will evaluate all options to ensure that we best serve our fans. Yeah, seeing that. Yeah, crazy times right now for Manchester United fans. Yeah.
Absolutely mental.
And for regular updates on this, of course, like I said, we will be going live. I can't wait to hear the other lads' thoughts. We're going to get a couple on tomorrow and discuss this with them in depth again, because me and Sam have we've given you all of our opinions on every situation possible. And again, I imagine there'll be more developments because this is a big, big topic. A lot of people will be talking about it, and a lot of journalists will be getting scoops on it as well. So the official statement is out. Sam's read it. I'm sure we'll put it on our Instagram as like a carousel or whatever, to make sure people can see it in full. And yeah, there's nothing more to be said other than the Glazers actually might be finally going, and that is what every single Manchester United fan has been dreaming for. It's what we've been hoping for. Our what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Thesis? Is thesis the right word? I don't know. But our principle has always been green and gold until the club is sold. It's by the channels, theme, graphics, this, that, all that kind of stuff. We've been behind this message for so long. And like I said at the start of the show, groups like the 1958 these kind of guys deserve huge credit because they have stood with this message through the rain, snow, sunshine, whenever, and constantly promoted this message that we want these toxic owners out. And we've finally fucking done it. We have finally done it. The wheels are in motion. We're on the right path. Cristiano Ronaldo's left the club. It's been a mental day for United fans, but I think I speak for both of us, Sam, when we say we're fucking extremely happy to hear this news.
Yeah, I it's hard to put into words right now how we've got here and the level of this statement. I'm sure we're both going to take the time tonight to digest this and tomorrow, and I'm sure the lads in the chat know about it, and the guys in the Real Reds channel as well probably know about this by now. Imagine if Shreya said Dad are asleep and they wake up to this news in the morning. Yeah,
mental, innit? Yeah, just like, whoa, what the fuck? That's a lot to wake up to.
They've got a lot to wake up to tomorrow. So yeah, it's been a mental night. Fucking crazy, like absolutely crazy. But yeah, the Glazers are going. They're fucking leaving. And I just hope the newest investors are more like FSG at Liverpool, who invest in the club, put stuff into the training ground, put stuff into players, etc. Improve the infrastructure, and they're going to be less like the Glazers or Todd Bowley at Chelsea, who not the sort of greatest American representatives. Yeah, I can't believe it. We're gonna have to fucking change the colour scheme. What are we gonna do? What are we doing? It's green and gold for fucking ever. Now we're like, we have to think about changing it.
We are, if anything, we are creative bastards, so I'm sure we can think of something. But yeah, look, another message I want to put out there as well is, look, just be careful of people who are going to buy the club. That's something we need to assess really closely because, like Sky Carry just said there, it could be another, US firm that's going to get involved. So we need to be careful of that. We need to do our due diligence. I keep getting that word wrong. Due diligence with that. And I'm sure as a fan base, we're smart enough to do that. So the Glazers are finally going. Ronaldo's left the club. You can't get any bigger day for Manchester United fans. The statement is official. If you want to go read that, we will be putting that out on our Instagram if you want to check that out, whether that's tonight.
There's one more. Again, it's Alex Crook, so take this with a pinch of salt. 28 seconds ago, the Glazer family would want more than $6 billion to sell the club. Again.
But doesn't that conflict with... Who was it reporting before that they said it'd be 4 to 5 billion? I'm sure we read that out, didn't we?
I think what's the Sky guy called? What's he called?
Abbott.
Yeah, I think he said it wouldn't be unusual for it to be around 4 or 5 billion. So I don't know, it's Glazers. Jay Motti from Paddock. He's just put a Glazer statement translated. We've bled the club dry for 17 years. We're now at a point where the best way for us to make the most money is to sell up and fuck off.
Yeah. You can't put it any better than that. You cannot put it any better than that. And we'll have to change our chant to we got the Glazers out. We got the Glazers out. Yeah, absolutely. Finally, 17 long fucking years. Honestly, it's been so long, man, since they come in. Everyone could foresee the bleak future that was about to come towards us, and thank God there's so much positivity now with this, with Ronaldo leaving, Ten Hag. We can look to the future with all these bright players that we've got and the owners going, and that will awake a sleeping giant essentially in Manchester United, and it's time. It's about fucking time. Thank God, praise the fucking Lord for that.
Aaron, shout out to Nick and Sam for holding down, waiting for statement break. Yeah, I mean that's what we do, mate. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Yeah. We understand. Like, thank you, Aaron, for being in the chat, mate. I know you've got a young child and stuff like that, so I appreciate you staying in the chat and dropping questions and stuff. Zoe, if SSG value Liverpool at $4 billion, Man United is worth more than $6 billion. Yeah, Yeah, probably.
Fair point. Yeah, I think around the 6 billion mark would probably be what they're looking for. Like I said, United's a massive entity, and there'll be a lot of interested buyers. I imagine a lot of them. But yeah, like I said, we will be live tomorrow with the lads with a few fresh opinions on the situation. Can't wait to hear what everyone is thinking. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, like the video, and of course follow us on socials if you would like to do that. And like I said, we've changed the chant now. It's We Got the Glazers Out.
Yeah.
We got the Glazers out. Me and Sam will check you out on the next one.
One more
Sam,
thing.
do you want to send us off? Yeah.
Movember campaign. We're growing a lovely tashes. So if you would like to donate and raise some money for the charity, mental health charity Mind, the link is in the description. There's a QR code there as well. So scan that on your phone. Follow all the socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We have got a Twitch, but I've not been using it as much. I do need to start up again. But yeah, follow us all there for the latest news, latest videos, latest clips. Shout out to everybody in the chat today: Aaron, Mohammed, Zoe's Media House, Virgie, who else was my girlfriend, Severe, all of them. Everybody shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zoe's Media House. Agreed. Applause, Dick and Sam. Thank you, Zoe. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it, Nick?
Absolutely.
There we go. That's what we want.
See you later, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We love you all. They're finally gone. The fuckers.
Glazers out. Glazers out. We are this is the Glazers out. See you, everybody.